Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Here's your meme of the day, brought to you by 5mind.com. Major Mamdani scandal alert. Democrat Socialist Trust Fund baby, Zoran Mamdani, hit with yet again another very, very concerning scandal. And to make matters worse on top of it, it seems as though the Democrat establishment is now working tirelessly to sabotage him. You know, I know the young Democrat feminist types and hipsters in New York City, they've got this hopeful view as if Mamdani is going to have this massive rise to power. The Democrat establishment's going to sit down and all this, fluffy-duffy socialism is going to come in and create a leftist utopia like the world's never seen. But unfortunately for them, that is a fantasy. Obviously the socialism part, because, well, we know socialism doesn't work. It may work for a short period of time, but when you attack productivity, standard of living goes down and crisis emerges. But it's not just that part, it's the fact that it's not going to be an easy road for Mamdani. The Democrat establishment is already circling, and you can see the agenda that they're rolling out here. Their intent is to sabotage the Mamdani agenda. And it's not just Kathy Hochul like we covered the other day. No, it's even Hakeem Jeffries, who tacitly endorsed him. He's endorsing him on the surface, but obviously there's a different agenda, and also it seems Barack Obama's now getting involved. The Democrat power players are now circling the Mamdani wagon. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so let's first start off with the scandal here. We've got an undercover video from the O'Keefe Media Group that shows some of the potential corrupt actions happening in order to get Mamdani elected here. It appears we've got a non-profit executive coaching non-citizens, potentially illegal immigrants, on how to vote for Mamdani. So not only helping people illegally vote, but also illegally steering them to vote for a particular candidate.
Yes, I'm an immigrant. They sent me here to vote. I was recommended to come here to find information to vote.
Oh.
I was given those locations. I will show you. Forgive me, I am no Espanol.
No, English is perfectly.
Thank you, sir. What's your name, sir?
Pedro Rodriguez. Pedro.
Pedro.
A pleasure. Yes.
Miguel.
Good. You register?
Sorry?
When did you register to vote?
I did not. I didn't sign anything. They just told me to come here to vote.
Okay.
That's close, right?
Just across the street.
Across the street?
Yes.
Thank you. And so I can go there and cast my vote for mayor?
It's 3 guys. Okay? I really can tell you vote to, okay? But, the guys are whatever.
Yeah, basically everything that the left has been claiming isn't a problem, isn't happening for years, is exactly what seems to be happening on the ground. And clearly it's the logical endpoint of what Democrats in New York City have been doing for years. They've built a sanctuary city pipeline that shields illegal migrants from ICE. Just recently, they were trying to pass legislation that would allow non-citizens to vote in municipal elections. We also just covered recently how they just passed a program last year to give illegal migrants health care coverage. It really exposes the illegal migrant agenda, right? And kind of speaks to how Mamdani is pushing campaign promises to fight Donald Trump's deportation agenda. Well, obviously something here stinks and should be investigated in my view. But potential electoral fraud, and I guess we could call it illegal election canvassing aside, Mamdani's running into another problem, because as I was saying in the intro, even if he's successful in getting elected here, which I think he will, I've seen some polls suggesting that Andrew Cuomo's rising, but with Curtis Sliwa still in the race, I just don't see it happening, so I think Mamdani's most likely to win here. But it's not going to be all socialist lollipops, puppies, and rainbows. Now, the Democrat vultures, they're hovering in the sky above. Like I mentioned, Hakeem Jeffries at the last second very unenthusiastically endorsed Mamdani. But now, apparently, he said this.
Hakeem Jeffries was asked this morning if you're the future of the Democratic Party. He said no.
Good to know.
He doesn't believe that Mamdani represents the future of the party. Not exactly a ringing endorsement for the most high-profile young Democrat. And you know, as much as I hate socialism, and as much as I think Mamdani is a complete fraud and clown, you have to admit that he's outdoing them all. And I think he's a very skilled politician. I mean, you have to admit that he's doing absolutely fantastic in terms of politicking. I hate his agenda, but he is in fact talented. I think he's one of the most talented young Democrats there is in terms of campaigning, mobilizing people, engaging on the grassroots level. And so you would think a guy like this would be propelled to the absolute top. This is who the Democrats would be rallying behind, especially in New York City. That's the biggest stage there is. But instead, Hakeem Jeffries is coming out saying that he doesn't represent the future of the party. Young talent that's displacing Democrat establishment figures is not representative of the future of the party. It just goes to show how much they hate him. And it's not just Hakeem Jeffries, we're also getting reporting that Obama at the last second here is refusing to endorse Mamdani for mayor in New York City. And that, of course, tells you all that you need to know, because Obama's the kingmaker. Obama's the guy who comes in at the last second with all of these Democrat races, and he puts his touch of approval on you at the last second. And he's done it in many of these high-profile races here, but now with Mamdani, he's not convinced. Yeah, well, it tells you all that you need to know. They know exactly what happens when you implement the kind of policies that Mamdani is suggesting. When you jack up taxes on the most productive people in your city, you create a tax base exodus. And that's what's being reported here. Supposedly, according to the New York Post, over 1 million people are considering leaving the state if Mamdani's elected into power. In other words, real estate in Palm Beach is about to get a whole lot more expensive. And Democrats understand this. They know it's going to lead to disaster, and that's why they're working so hard against it. They have no intention of enabling the Mamdani agenda. Kathy Hochul last week went on the record admitting it. She is not going to allow Mamdani to hike taxes on the top brackets in New York City. And so now the question is, how does he fund his agenda? How does he do anything if he can't even get support from his own party? I don't know. I think it's going to be real tough. I think the Democrat power players, well, they're obviously desperate. They're going to try to sabotage him at every point and turn here. And that's if he's elected, because as I'm recording this, holy freaking crap, a new Atlas Intel poll is just released, showing the race within 5 points. Andrew Cuomo seems to be making some serious gains here. Look at the numbers. Zoran Mamdani sitting at 43.9% to Andrew Cuomo's 39.4%. I mean, this guy might actually freaking lose. And part of that probably has something to do with the big Democrat players not jumping behind his campaign. They will not enable his agenda. They do not want him. And very clearly, they're trying to stop what is happening to the Democrat Party. They're trying to ward off the threat of far-left socialism. Well, we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see if they're successful. But also, one thing I got to say is I think they're also in denial. You know, Hakeem claiming that Mamdani is not the future of the party, I think he very much is. I think in the long run, the effort is futile. This is the next generation of Democrats that they have cultivated. This is the future of the party, and whether Hakeem wants to accept it or not, Barack Obama endorsement or not, this is where it's headed. In other words, I think the Democrat Party is headed towards utter disaster and failure. And you know, in a way, kind of makes me want to see Mamdani get elected. I think people need to be subjected to the failures of socialism in order to curb this trend. And what better stage for that to happen than New York City? I don't know, maybe call me a nihilist for holding that view, but I really, truly believe it's the only cure. You got to see socialism fail in real time, at least some people do, in order to wake up. And clearly, the Democrats understand this, and that's why they're trying so hard to fight it, because they know that would spell disaster for their party moving forward. And so here they are, in absolute panic, scrambling, attempting to shut Mamdani down. And well, let's see what happens. All right, well, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.